Miss Mary right off the bat. She's exactly right. Hi, how are y'all? I'm doing well. I'm not gonna ask for sound check this time. I'm just gonna be confident that it's actually working. Pretty sure y'all scream at me if you couldn't hear me anyways. Do have to turn my little knobby knob up. Well, Dr. Graham called or texted me today and said he wanted to be on here today, but he was traveling yesterday. That was a hotel that he was in, and he's traveling back somewhere. I think he's going home to Wyoming, if I heard him right. So I said, no worries, man. It really is it's no big deal. I most definitely want to have him back on. Thank you, Tori. Sound is good. Good deal. I do want to have him back on for sure because that was a lot of information. Like I said, hi Dannon, my thumbnail. His level of knowledge and accomplishments, especially being so young as he is just way over my head. And I usually make it a habit to go back and watch most of my own podcasts, if for no other reason. It's not because I'm vain, like a lot of my trolls will tell me, but I do it to teach myself. And usually, it's if I'm watching myself, it's watching me do things and flip the screens and go back and forth to. I don't know what it looks like necessarily on your end, but this time I went back and watched him talk about all of his stuff in the Crooked Family Court, of all the accomplishments the man has gotten over his years, a soldier, uh, a a master's, or I think maybe two masters, a doctorate. Now he's going for his law degree. It was just amazing to me, and like I said yesterday, some of the things he talks about. He talks real quickly, but which is fine because sometimes I do too. But um, some of the stuff he talks about, you'd think I would know this stuff as much as I've been in the family court, but you just I don't know. I learn a lot, and I like learning from people. And I sure as hell have a lot of respect for somebody who actually just say, screw it, I got screwed by the family court, and since I can't afford a lawyer anymore, I'll just hop on over to law school. And I'm sure he'll wind up probably getting a medical degree, knowing that guy before he's done. So anyway, how is everybody today? Clarissa Hendershot and Ziller McMiller and Tori and Panna and Karen. Hey, I remember you. How are you? Hi. Y'all like my wife beater today? I've been slacking. I've gone 2 whole days not going to the gym. My back's been bugging me because I'm old. And when you get old, shit starts hurting that didn't used to hurt before. And I have to pay attention to it. So I've been sitting on my cute little ass all day, for the last 2 days, not going to the gym. Boys went, but I didn't go. And trying to get it healed up. So I thought, screw it. Just be a kind of a free for all day. I'm going to talk a little bit about, well, Aaron Graham, who was on yesterday, who hopefully, assuming he doesn't break down again or something or whatever's going on, will be back here tomorrow. Doing well. How are you? I thought you asked how old I am. I'm 45, but I'm doing well. My back's feeling better, a lot better. There's DeFi, Dad. Damn, I wish I was that intelligent. Well, I do. I wish I was. I mean, I don't have what that guy's got. He some people's brains just work like that. I just wasn't gifted that way. I've learned that about myself, that I'm a slow learner. It was suggested to me a little over a year ago by Sade, of all people, that she thinks I am on the spectrum. And I don't think I've ever talked about this directly on here. I've talked about it on my channel one time. Maybe I am. That kind of freaked me out a little bit. I didn't, but I guess maybe I am. I've never gone to a doctor before to have it officially diagnosed if I am on the spectrum. I'm thinking about doing it though. Kind of want to know. I think it'd be kind of cool because then if I am slow, then I can make jokes about slow people with complete immunity. when I do learn something, especially now that I'm sober and a recovered with a D, past tense, a recovered alcoholic, I do learn slow, but I'm a slow learner, but when I do, I catch up really, really quickly. And I can memorize things and I can start to see patterns, which can get you off into all kinds of weird, crazy law stuff, which is maybe why I don't like alcohol, don't like marijuana, even though y'all know my stance on it. But maybe that is why I do like psychedelics, even though I don't have a lot of experience with it. But what little I have, it is they're awesome. That's gonna make some people just lose it with me. DeFi dad, you and me both, hard headed but steady. ADHD here. I might have that. I don't know. I don't take anything for it. Never have. Knock on wood. 45. No pills. No drugs of any kind whatsoever. No prescriptions. I don't even take aspirin, and I'm thankful for it. Because if I hadn't stopped drinking and hadn't have corrected my eating habits and started getting to the gym, it's the only reason I can wear this sexy little wife beater I've got. If I hadn't have done that, who knows where I'd be. I actually think I'd be dead by now. It was getting bad. It was getting real bad. Ryan, the most badass father on social media, is back. I don't know about that, but thank you very much. You thought I was 40. Well, that's cool because thank you because some kids have actually told me or made a reference to I can't remember the context, but made a reference to what was my time like in Vietnam. Like, Jesus, man, do I either look that old or the new generation is that dumb? But if they are that dumb, who do you think raised them? We did. That's right. Who raised me? The boomers. The boomers raised people like me and Miss Mary. I don't know how old anybody else is really in here. I just happen to know Miss Mary personally. So she's the only one I know. Tori, the new one I heard Mike Tyson talk about was the toad. People claim it's life changing. Yeah, I saw a clip of him. I didn't see the whole interview. I love watching Tyson fight. I love watching him talk. Sometimes he gets off on these really screwball things that are like, woo woo. But I did see him talk about, I don't know, he's Wiz Khalifa or she's talking to somebody about licking the toad. It was funny because I've never done that, but I hear it's trippy. Zeller McMiller. Hey, Caleb, have you watched any episodes of Thug Hunters? No, I have not. I've never even heard of Thug Hunters. But if you're a Boston fan, I as well am a Boston fan. I might have to check that out. Maybe that's something worth watching. I did finish Stranger Things and I was highly disappointed. I mean, it was just the first 2 seasons were just totally badass. And season 3 was pretty good, but it's a little out there, but it was still pretty good. They had some good momentum with this last one. I just was not impressed. What is your opinion on speakeasies? I don't know enough about them. Like I really don't. They're just the only thing I know. They're like bars back in Prohibition Day or something like that. I don't know. I don't really know. I'm just really ignorant on speakeasies. The first time I ever heard of a speakeasy, what it was, I was actually watching. What was the name of that goofy show? The dude from 90210 was in it. Just died here a couple years ago. He was the dad. Archie Bunker spinoff. Anyway, they were talking about it in there. I had to look it up. I'd never even heard of it. Blaze Proctor, how was your 4th of July? It's just another day, man. That was kind of the reason about this, my title of Happy 5th. I mean, do people even, I have to wonder, do people even realize what Independence Day really, the only reason we even acknowledge it, what it was really about? A very small number of people got tired of the king's taxes and started arming themselves and shooting his men, the cops of the day. And it was highly treasonous. Highly treasonous. The punishment was death. That was the punishment if you got caught. But if you win it, then you get to start your own country and live free ish, I guess. I'm not quite as hard on this country as I used to be, but I think a good, healthy dose of criticism is constantly vigilant. A constant dose of vigilism to the politicians makes them stay on their feet and not veer off quite as badly as they're known to. What vibes? My opinion on pancakes. Who doesn't love pancakes? Freedom from the crown. Well, it is now, but then again, the crown wasn't charging nearly as much in taxes they're charging today. So is it really? I don't know. Ziller McMiller, do you know why the cops nowadays lack supervision when there's a shooting? I have no idea why cops do what they do. It's kind of like that shooting in Uvalde. I mean that dude that I can't remember his name, the police chief, the school police chief there in Uvalde, Texas, and the shooting, wound up resigning. But to me, that's not nearly enough. I mean, he needs to stare behind some bars. So, no, I'm missing some. Ryan, that's the new generation for you. Don't worry about it. I'm almost in 12th grade, and because my short ass height people, I think they think I'm in 8th grade. You'll grow through it, man. You'll get up there. Don't worry about it. Work out all the time. You'll get there. Panna, what is your opinion of the health benefits of drinking coffee? I drink decaf. I can't do caffeine anymore. It just makes my heart race and I don't feel good. People do. They take these coffee suppositories. Basically, just get one of those balloons and shove it up the old bung hole where the sun don't shine, right up Main Street, and supposedly it's a good washer outer. Well, taxation without representation. Does anyone really think they're represented? Nope. Nope, not even a little bit. No, I'm not. I don't feel represented at all. There's one representative per 100,000 people. In some places, 500,000 people. Does any one person know 500,000 people? You can't represent them all. You can't even represent the majority, the 51% of them. How would you know? Everyone's got different opinions. Y'all have all got different opinions than me. We kind of agree on some things. I would imagine most people in here would agree that there's something wrong with the family court. I agree. I would imagine most people in here probably mostly agree that in nonviolent parenting, don't hit your kids. But, we're all going to disagree a little bit. That's why I post those polls. So we have little debates. Have these conversations. In excess ratio. Do you like Trump or Biden? Just wondering your thoughts. Nope and nope. They're politicians. I don't. The last politician I ever put skin in the game for was named Ron Paul. Miss Mary knows exactly what I'm talking about. I'm sure Tori probably does. DeFi Dad might. Ron Paul, yes, he was a registered Republican, but Ron Paul was an anarchist, and we all know it. Anybody who actually studied him, we all know it. He was, and he is. And he's the last politician that I'd ever bleed for, that I ever took seriously, promoted. He's an amazing man, and I am going to be genuinely sad because he's getting up there in age. I am going to be genuinely sad when the man passes. He had a scare a couple years ago. He had a stroke or something, and it was during one of his shows. But I guess he got through it. Man, that's the greatest president this country never got the opportunity to have because he was screwed out of it. Yeah, see, told y'all. Told you. Miss Mary knows what's up. She knows exactly why Ron Paul's the man. And get this, I don't even agree with Ron Paul and everything. He's a Christian, for one thing. I'm no longer a Christian. I don't have anything to do with the religion, but he's a staunch Christian, and actually admire him for it. I really, really do. I think he practiced what he preached. And did you know that Dr. Ron Paul is an OBGYN, had a private practice for like lots and lots of years and delivered like 3,000 babies? Both part of the same bird. Ron is a libertarian. He is. But he's, again, we all know he's left, right, libertarian. He's anarchist. He's out there. He's out there where all the cool kids are. NXS ratio. I'm a Christian. That's great. That's awesome. I'm glad people, if they like it, that's what they want. I think they should be religious. I just simply am not. See, here we go. Lewis Marshall is a Muslim. I think that's great. I think that's awesome. As long as you're not harming anybody else, not pushing it on anybody else, go for it. I think it's awesome. If that's how you find the meaning of life, if that's how you find your truth, I think it's awesome. Everyone, or not everyone, but me and a lot of people I know, we're just trying to figure out what the hell this life's for. What the hell's the purpose? And a lot of people do find it with religion. And in most cases, of the people that do, and they're peaceful about it and they keep it to themselves and they don't push it on everyone else, I think it's beautiful. Maybe I will find some religion that suits me. But right now, my religion is be nice to people, be kind to people, but don't take any shit. Protect the ones you love from the assholes. Back to whoever had asked me about Trump or Biden. I will say this. I don't hate Trump the way his real haters hate him, like at all. I really don't. I don't think he's what some people would think. I don't think he's like pals with Jesus. Like you'd see him and pictures of him and John Wayne and Jesus together. And I just think that is just absolutely absurd. Ryan, I'm not of any religion. Neither am I. I'm just straight up agnostic. I just don't know. That's it. But my family's Christian. Oh, you must be a black sheep, Ryan. Don't tread on anyone. That's exactly it. Being Muslim is great. Well, cool. DeFi Dad says he's a Quaker. Are you yanking my chain, DeFi Dad? I don't think there's a lot of Quakers. The odds of one of them being here on one of my lives, I'd say slim to none. But maybe you're not. Maybe you're telling the truth. It's so fun. The part I struggle with is the fasting. Ooh, I fast occasionally, but it's just because I feel like it. Miriam Macias Jaquez, hello. How are you? NXS Prod. We got two NXSs here. Yeah, we got NXS Ratio and NXS Prod. Are y'all like fans of the band NXS? Except I think that's INXS. What do you call ignorant comments internet gold? Or why do you call ignorant comments internet gold? Because they're funny. When people put they put their foot in their mouth and they make a gigantic, especially when they're attacking me, a criticism of me, and they're just dead wrong and I can prove it. It's just internet gold because I can get on here and laugh at them. It's kind of like, what's his name coming on the other day? Billy Bob, Backwards Brian. He just, it's just internet gold. I mean, I knew he wasn't going to change my mind. And especially after the first debate, when he was coming on for the second, I knew he didn't have shit on me. There's just, I mean, I already knew it anyways, but I just knew it's just going to, I keep it up there because it's just internet gold because he just looks so silly to me, just coming after me over and over and over. And he's just flat wrong. That's all that stuff's internet gold because I guess if I had a religion, it'd be laughter. I love to laugh. What did you think of Obama? He dropped a lot of bombs like all of his predecessors, and not quite as many as the ones who came after him and won a Nobel Peace Prize for it. Not a fan. Rama Chulajalo. I'm so sorry I screwed up your name. I'm sure I did. Love your videos and lives. Much love from Ohio. Well, thank you. Do you mind if you're going to be around, I might just call you Rama, kind of like with old Pana. I just call him Pana because I'm too ignorant to learn how to read some of these. Asherlig S, LO cows instead of cash cows. I'm not sure who or what that's about. Libertarian symbol is a porcupine. That means it will defend itself and stand its ground and need be. Yes, that is why the New Hampshire people use it. The Free Staters, which some say is an oxymoron. Kind of sounds like it. Ryan, having that debate earlier in the comment section with Brian gave even me, a 17-year-old, a headache and made me feel 8 decades older. Y'all are funny, but Brian, backwards Brian, he was on a rant today. He was all over his own video, just talking. He just looked really cuckoo to me. Miss Mary, what did I think of Obama? I remember he seemed like a great politician at the beginning. Then he decided to bomb more brown people, and I lost all respect. It's almost like we know. It's almost like we're friends, and we have a same rooted philosophy, Miss Mary and I, because we basically do. No problem, and you said it correctly. All right, cool, Rob. But I had to say it real slow. You've got like 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 syllables in your first name alone. So Rama's just easy. That's easy for me. So just be a pet name. In excess ratio, do you hate cops? And if so, why? No, I don't hate cops. I just don't like modern policing. And I'll be happy to tell you why. Because modern policing is centered around the old slave patrol to catch runaway slaves. Modern policing is relatively new in humankind. Yeah, there've always been soldiers, but it's nothing like it is today. The world is getting nuttier. Maybe drugs are getting crazier, and technology is moving faster, and the money goes to a lot more of certain crowds and a lot less of other crowds, and each of those crowds are getting bigger. And to pass laws, that one law is good for millions of people if it's a bad law, and yes, there are bad laws. And you got a cop who doesn't think, who just blindly obeys everything he says, like that cop in Parker versus the Man. He knew it was wrong, or to me, it looked like he knew it was wrong what he's doing, but he took a paycheck. And that's what a lot of cops do, like holding one of God's plants, according to Genesis 1:29. In the state of Texas, it is still illegal to hold a marijuana plant. It just makes no sense to me. It's just the dumbest thing ever. But you arm a bunch of cops and tell them they're Billy badasses and they have badges and they can crack skulls for Jesus if they bring enough people in and all that stuff. And they get this, too many of them, unfortunately, get this power trip. And they think it's okay to do, all while calling themselves Christians, I might add. They think it's okay to do that to people, to imprison people and ruin their lives over a plant. It's just ridiculous to me. Kids grow up their entire lives without usually a dad. But if we do have modern or cops, then that's the only reason I promote, like the cops in the Parker movie. Officer Brandon Spinks and Officer Rocha did an outstanding job. That was top-notch copping, in my opinion. They got called. They apparently didn't want to be there. It was just all over their face. They assessed the situation. They de-escalated the situation, and they left. And nobody but some people's feelings got hurt. But actually really hurt, nobody got hurt. So if we do have to have cops, and I understand that most people, that's what most people want, I guess. Maybe it's a slim majority, but still a majority. We wouldn't have them. But When I do find the good ones doing some really cool things, it's hard to find, unfortunately. But when I do find occasionally doing the cop doing the right thing and de-escalating the situation, staying out of it, then on that action alone, yeah, I'm happy to promote it. WGMJ, make marijuana legal in all states. I don't know why it was ever. Well, I do know why, because people are racists. That's the dirty little secret. Old politicians back in the day. Woven Tiger, do you think companies will work themselves as gas prices are ridiculous? Do I think companies will work themselves? I don't quite understand the question. Maybe I'm missing something. I was slammed by a cop when I was 10 years old and was handcuffed because someone made a lie. Ever since then, I wouldn't speak to cops and piss them off with silence. Well, if you're unsure, and I would say most of the time, always, remain silent. That's how the Miranda rights. You're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Use it. That's one of the ironically good truths that you'll hear coming from any cop. Dorian Mabry, I knew these were the reasons why people protest against cops. Well, I mean, people get tired of being controlled, and that's what rebellion's all about, is someone who's essentially minding their own business, and they keep getting hammered by somebody, whether it's a parent or a bully at school or a big gigantic group of people who all get paid by the man who put on police uniforms, and you get a bunch of them that kind of go rogue or take it a lot too far. People in certain neighborhoods pick on certain people. If people get tired of it, they rebel. It's an American pastime. DeFi dad, keep losing more and more rights and privacy doesn't seem to matter. The president, they're paid off before getting the position, unfortunately, probably. Yeah, I don't even know that any modern president after JFK actually is a true executive. It seems like they just seem like puppets to me. I could be wrong. Karen, I rewatched Parker versus the Man. Boo. Are you trying to scare me, or are you giving it a thumbs down? I assume you're giving a thumbs down. I would hope so, Miss Karen. Giving a thumbs down from the cop and Judge Whalen. Yep, worst day of my life. Jason, I don't like cops, but in excess ratio, you can be a bootlicker. IDFC. I don't fucking care. I'm not sure. Brianna Johnson, where are your kids? Well, two of them are here, and two of them are in Texas somewhere. I'm sure it's late enough. They're probably at home. Yep, tied them tied up. They're all down there. Rama, are you fluent in any other languages? No. The closest other language I speak is Spanish, and I know a little bit just because there's a lot of Spanish speakers in Texas, and I grew up around it, mostly working with them. What car do you have now? I've got an 08 Mustang. Paid $5,000 for it. Oh, this was okay. Woven tigers, meaning will they have to do all the work themselves? I'm not following you, man. As opposed to what, paying more wages or not getting in order to get people to work. I'm really not sure what you're talking about there. I watch ads. Hello from Notre Dame, Indiana. Hope all is well, sir. It is. It's pretty dang good. It's I was going to get to somebody, and I was going to get asking how I am, and I was going to talk about. Hang on just a second. Let me get to this. Concerned commenter Caleb Leverett. What about The Dutch are protesting the government's policy that will lower meat production by 30%. They show the people of the world how to unite against government bullies. I've not heard that story. The Dutch are protesting the government's policies to lower meat production by 30%. Okay. Well, uh, good, I guess. I mean, I don't quite understand. Well, I just don't know anything about the story. I've not read it. My parents wonder why I'm getting the registered gun license when I'm out of high school. I don't trust cops to keep me safe. Not when they left a stain on my record, which took a year to be removed. See, exactly. You know, he's young. He learned young not to trust certain people, and we've got to take care of ourselves anyways. That's just a fact. That's part of the reason the thumbnail I use for this. That's the result of just assuming Big Daddy government, whether it's Trumpy side or Biden side, that they're going to just take care of you. If they're all will be well, if they get in there, you get fat and lazy and just not a good deal. I'm back. Okay. Here in Spokane, Washington, know nothing about our constitutional rights got made at me because I don't see the rest of it. I'm learning. I got messed up on a comment from Sade the other day that I wish it would give me like three dots across or 3 dots down there and let me know it like continued on to the next one, but it doesn't. What's to protest from poor Pally? Their government said, hey, let's maybe slaughter less animals, and they threw a fit. Again, I don't know. I do know this too. Have y'all watched, Tory posted this on his Facebook earlier, and I've seen it building over the last few months. There's like almost 100 different food processing facilities in some capacity or another, whether it's a farm for cows or fields for corn or factories or I think there's an airport, a small airport that anyway, they're getting blown up or burned down. There's been like 100 of them in the last year. Kind of strange. There it is. The plan is to cut beef and other meat production down and move the plant base to bugs. Is that really real? I mean, is that like a legitimate? I've seen people joking about it, but is that like a real Bill Gates thing or something? Do you think Christians are right for not liking gay people? Well, first of all, not all Christians don't like gay people. But so, I mean, you can take that part out of it. There's some gay people I don't like, but as far as does everyone have a right to be gay if they want to? In my opinion, absolutely. It shouldn't have any bearing on what religion they are, what political party they are, what color their skin is, or anything like that. If you want to love somebody, just love them. I mean, I really don't care. And yes, gay people can be assholes too. What's the tattoo on your shoulder? That is Parker, Hayden, and Blaine. That was my 3 boys. First tattoo I ever got. And then this one is London. If I can get it in the camera. 3L. London Leanne Leverett, my favorite human being. Those are my first 2 tattoos. I got this one before she was even born, or else she would have probably been incorporated into it. I'm glad I learned cops and, in essence, the government doesn't give a shit about me. Fortunately, before my life was at actual risk. Yeah, it's a good thing. I mean, well done. I tell my boys that all the time. I'm so glad that y'all have learned that their eyes are so much more open than mine ever were at that age. It took me till I was in my late 30s to be as street smart as they were in their teens. Or Hayden's 21, Parker's 23 now. WGMJ, what do you think about them killing elephant for their tusks? I think it's atrocious to kill any animal just for trophies. I think it's a horrible, piss poor. It's a shitty thing to do to an animal. I eat animals. I'm all for if that's what you're. I mean, we are carnivores. Again, don't really want to get into that argument with the vegans and the meat eater or the non-meat eaters, or whatever, vegetarians. If you're being responsible, just like with anything else, just be responsible. It's like littering. I mean, I generally try not to litter, is not that it's my little peon self's going to make a difference, and not that killing one more elephant is going to be that big of a difference, but just be respectful. If you slaughter them for the tusk and the hide and the meat or if there's too many of them in a certain area and they're all going to die of disease, and you have to thin out the herd in order to preserve the species. I mean, I totally get conservation, like I really do, but just being an asshole and just randomly killing things just to make a buck, I think it's fucking horrible. Okay, DeFi Dad. Yeah, Tori, I have read up on it, some shit with all the livestock in the U.S. getting slaughtered and processing plants having who is beeping me and for what? I thought I turned all that shit off 2 weeks ago. I have no idea what that was. Oh, well. It's a WEF thing for bugs. The World Economic Forum. I think that's what the WEF is. Is that Klaus douchebag? What's his name? Klaus Schwab. Concerned commenter, poor Pally. You should check it out. Gonzalo Lira II YouTube channel. Okay, I don't know what that means. Ziller McMiller, you should listen to Ram Ranch 85 when you get the chance. Okay, maybe. Karen, I'm Christian and I don't hate gay people. Well, there you go. Thank you for that testimony. I'm glad to hear that. Because there are, unfortunately, a lot of Christians who don't. I totally get that. But to say, to blanket them all together and say they all don't, that's just absurd. Caleb, did you read more of my comment? No, I couldn't find it, man. I'm sorry. What are your thoughts on the new abortion rule? Lewis, that's a good question. I've actually talked about that. I want to say last week. You know what? I've noticed that I got a lot more on my poll. I got like 1,000 votes on one of those polls. Kate Johnson, is London now an adult? She's 17, but I guess depends on what your definition of an adult is. In Texas, she's not legally. 17 is a weird age, and you're a kid, but it depends on what the crime is. You could be tried as an adult. Like when I went to jail in 2014, I was in family court jail, which is the same jail for everybody. I was in there with people who were murderers and abusers of all kinds. And I was also in there with a kid who was 17 years old, got popped for like a van full of marijuana plants. Like I don't know, like 50 or 100 pounds of bud. Like the van was just completely full. He was only 17. Who knows what he got for that? Joseph Stalin. So have you been catching your stream so how have you been? I'm catching your stream for the first time. I'm much better than I was. If you're a newcomer, you probably just came from the Parker video. I'm a lot better now than I was back then. I promise you. Toria sent you the oh, that's what that beep was. Okay, I can't. If I had a way to pull it up instantly, I would read it on the fly and put it up here, but I don't, and I have to put it in slides. And to use slides, I have to use this thing called Keynote, and I can do it. That's what I got the doctor's stuff on the screen yesterday. I can do it if I have to really fast, but it just kind of messes me up. But I will read it once I get off. Thank you. Dorian Mabry, Brad Feynman, and his son Vincent Feynman were arrested for standing up for their rights and Fourth Amendment rights. Fourth Amendment is the unreasonable searches and seizures amendment. I knew that justice system was screwing everyone. I've not heard of them. I don't know who they are or what they did. Concerned commenters talking to DeFi Dad and manure on the roads in the Netherlands to keep the roads blocked. The Dutch supply food to much of Western Europe. I didn't Man, I guess I just did not watch the news today. Like I'm normally kind of up on this stuff, but I'm just not. Had to had to. There's too many icons in there, and I can't see them very well. Lewis Marshall, do you think Americans should do something about the gun laws after what happened in Texas? No. Well, yeah. Get rid of these gun-free zones because for whatever reason, every time there's a gun-free zone, whether it's a school or a parade or a concert, people just wind up getting mowed down. Did y'all hear about that parade yesterday? I didn't. Don't know all the specifics. Some thinking kid, another gun-free zone in somewhere in Chicago, I think, just mowed a bunch of people down at a parade. So yeah, if they're going to do something, get rid of these stupid gun-free zones because it's just so funny. You never hear about anybody getting shot up at a gun show. Like it's never happened, like ever that I know of. Correct me if I'm wrong. If anybody has an article out there where it actually happened, a gun show getting shot up, they wouldn't last. I'd say they got about 2 seconds, and they better just have already said their prayers. And you might get 1 or 2, but you're not going to get 20 or 30. I promise. You go to a gun show and try that crap, you'll be dead quicker than shit. Hannah, which troll do you think is the craziest? At the moment, probably just the main two that are real active right now, Black and Blue and Drunk Tea. Kate Johnson, do you have any afterthought about the debate you did? Also, it was fucking great. You should do more debates. My only afterthought is I was mostly disappointed about him not having any better argument. I really thought he's gonna catch me in something. If it was a lie, whatever he was thinking, I was thinking, and it certainly wasn't intentional. I might have made a mistake or something like that and misspoke. I do that all the time. But if I'm wrong about something, I don't mind admitting it. I was wrong. But what he was trying to get me to, backwards Brian, was he narrowed it down to that one did park sitting in my vehicle in the public street known as that address. He wanted me to, I say that was pushed over on this side. He says the pendulum was pushed on this side, and I just think he's wrong. I did what I had to do. So no, I don't really have any, that's really my only afterthought. I just wished I'd get someone on here that really, really, really talk shit to me. Like really in the comments, constantly talk shit to me. My afterthought is bring those people on. Those are the ones I want to see. Ooh, Joseph Stalin again, plant-based meat. It's fine. I got no big issue, but nobody making me eat bugs. Well, I mean, if it's plant-based, it's plant. It's not really meat. I mean, that's where from my understanding, that's where all protein comes from, originates, where it's manufactured inside of plants. It's just stored inside animals in bigger quantities. As far as protein, yeah, I'm just not into bugs. Pepe D's nuts. There he is, man. Hey, don't ask, don't tell. CCW, closed caption something, counterclockwise. Not sure what that means, Bub. DeFi Dad, yes, allow concealed carry easier. Armed society is a polite society. Yeah, and it's not and even that's not going to be a perfect society. There's going to be morons that abuse it. I totally get that, but for the older people in here, I think Pepe's probably about my age. I know Mary is. I'm not sure the age on the rest of the people. I remember the very first school shooting. Like I remember when it happened. It was right when Parker was born. Either right before or right after. I think it was 1999. Parker's born in 99. It was the Columbine shooting. Before that, there was no such thing as a school shooting. That was completely unheard of. It certainly didn't happen weekly, if not daily, like it happens now. But yeah, those were gun-free zones. I just happen to think, like what DeFi Doubt here said, an armed society is a polite society. It's the same principle. If you walk into a gun show, you're going to be really polite in there. You're not going to pull out a gun and start blasting people because you won't get very far at all. There's not just gun owners there, there's a high concentration of very skilled gun owners there that can take you out anytime they wanted to. If they decide to go nuts, they could do it. But if it just doesn't happen, it never happens at a gun show. And if it does, if you know of it, I'd love to hear the story or get a link about it, because I've never heard of that. Never heard of a gun show getting shot up ever. Pepe, you can't carry at a gun show, but usually there's a lot of police around. There's plenty of guns there. Again, the whole point of being armed is to not depend on the police. So, I don't know. I'm sure every state has different laws about it, but people they're going to carry guns. That's just how it is. Grindr. No, that's just another dating site. Do you know? Oh, do I know Dale the Grinder? I haven't a clue who that is. DeFi Dad, how much easier do you need take a class to get a card? Oh, I'll let y'all finish your conversation there. All right, I'm going to jump over to a poll because somebody asked me earlier what I thought of the new. Oops, I gotta get y'all over here first. Go share screen, Chrome tab. Yeah. Okay, can y'all see that? I think you can. Let me take his comment off there so it's not in the way. Put me down here at the bottom. I'm going to go up here and that did not do what I wanted to. Let me try this. Come on, ET phone home, go home. My channel, community. There's the doc over there. I don't know why that's up like that. All right, here we go. Community tab. There's a little bit of art that I made about me whopping the floor again with old Brian Baxter. That's the vasectomy poll, 739 votes. Whoever was asking the question earlier about the new abortion laws and the Roe v. Wade thing. I think I've got two different ones on here, but this is, hang on. There's the vasectomy one. Do people about men getting vasectomies? There are 1,000 votes there. Given the latest turn of events, the overturning of Roe v. Wade, do you support men getting a vasectomy? I'm very open about having a vasectomy in 2005. I'm glad I got it and plan on getting it checked to make sure it's still effective. I'll be reading the results and comments on my podcast exclusively on this channel today, but that was from 10 days ago. But now it's got 1,000 votes. And 89% of the people say, yes, I support men getting a vasectomy. Only 11% of the people say, no, I do not. I don't support men getting a vasectomy. And I'm going to select this and go to newest, sort by newest. Yeah, say Marie Priss says, need more men like you. Thumbs up. You did the right thing. Okay. Lawa, L-A-U-W-A, Lawa M. Just like if women should choose to have an abortion, men can choose to have a vasectomy. It's all about our bodies and no one's business. I agree. Well, this isn't this. I've got a different poll. This isn't exactly the one I was looking for. Oh, I see what it does. Well, I tell you what, I'm just going to come back to y'all, and whoever brought that. If y'all want to talk about Roe v. Wade, I guess we can. Sorry about the repetitive comments. My internet's weird. No biggie. I mean, it happens. Sorry about if I lose my train of thought here sometimes, because sometimes I do. Joseph Stalin government makes a gun-free zone. Insert character. How about I bring bring my gun anyways. Well, unfortunately, other people's guns will come and do something about it to you. Yeah. Brian Baxter, shut the fuck up, bro, before I shut you up. Snip, snap, snip, snap. Pepe, did you get your balls cut too? I got mine cut. Of course, if you're not having sex, it doesn't really matter, but I'm on my second virginity, I guess. I guess I'm going to have to go get the old carrot waxed and a cup at a doctor's office and make sure I don't still shooting blanks. How's Parker been from Aislinn Carriger? He's great. Heather Tesson says, hi. Hello, Heather. Kate Johnson, can you explain how it was when you were in jail and how you got the name Notorious Dad? Yes, jail is incredibly boring and it is very cold. There is almost zero privacy. You pee and shit and sleep with, and the cell I was in is called the fishbowl because it was 3-sided room of concrete blocks with 20-foot ceilings, no sound attenuation. There's gigantic echoes and a big old bulletproof glass where all the cops go by and just watch you. And it looks like we're all the fish and they're the customers coming to scoop us out, throw us in and out of there. So yeah, there's no privacy and it's boring. You make the best of it. It changes your psyche. You start talking about things and you dream about things that you wished you could have that you used to have. Like I just constantly wanted to check my phone, constantly wanted to dip a snuff. I didn't really drink no alcohol. That didn't bother me. The food's fucking terrible. Like just fucking terrible. And how I got the name Notorious Dad was well, there's a question when you get thrown in jail, what are you in for? And everybody gets asked it. And you're usually kind of quiet. Everyone's different, but most people are kind of quiet about it at first. But when they asked me, I just straight up told them I'm in jail for being a good fucking dad. And of course, nobody believed me in the beginning. But then you start playing cards a lot, and everyone starts telling their story, and I just started telling the story about Parker and what happened, and then Parker versus the Man, what happened, and how it's on my YouTube channel and it's going viral. Well, the guards, some of the inmates and the guards talk, and one of the guards, the trustee guy, his name was Conrad. He's an old man. He's a green beret in the Army, and he was in his mid to late 60s. He was in charge of all of us, the trustees, and I was a trustee's trustee. That got to leave the jail and go clean shit, and they called us peppermints because we had green and white. Anyway, I got to talking to Conrad. He's really, really, for a cop and a guard, he was a really nice man. He was human, and you just tell he's a nice guy. Well, he is one of the guards I know for sure. And then a few others told me later that they went home and watched my channel, and they started reporting back to the inmates saying, "Yep, that Leverett, he wasn't bullshitting. He does not deserve to be here. This is bullshit that he's here." And it got around all the inmates. Well, everybody in jail wished they had a good dad. Some did, I guess, but I don't really remember any for sure. That's my kitty making that noise. Hey, you little fucker, you're noisy. Come here. I've still got that brand new kitty, and I don't have a name for her. I've been calling her Mama Cat, and she's so bashful. She's not mean, but she's just so bashful, and she stays to herself, and she's back there going. So anyway, that's how I was in jail for being a good dad. I don't know. Just one thing led to another, and a guy named Jarvis Walker. He's the coolest guy, friend I made in there. He just started calling me the Notorious Dad, and I thought it's hilarious. Jarvis and I got along really, really well. He's a nice guy, but he's nice to me. He'd been in the pen all different kinds, most of his adult life for various reasons. Some of them a little just couldn't quite justify, fighting, bitch stepped out of line or something. Who knows? But we got along great. He was cool. He's fucking hilarious. Right. If ever up in jail, cops, you know why you arrested me. Cops, are you going to talk? Me. Cops, no, you can say something. Me, something. Yeah, just don't say anything. Silent Origami. Hello, Silent Origami. I love your little kitty cat with the blue eyes. Kitty! It's covered. Fuck's sake, it's covered up. She just covered. I mean, bless her heart. She makes it all perfect, and she's so much more gentle than Francis. I miss Francis, but Francis was a boy cat, and he's full of shit. And she's a girl mama cat. She's real young. She's barely a year old, and she's already had a litter of kittens, but she is fixed. So thank the gods that's not going to happen anymore. Jet Harrelson, does Parker and his mom still talk? I cannot answer that. I do not talk about any of my children's personal lives, and particularly I don't talk about their relationship with other people, because everybody asks that, and I think it's inappropriate if I were to talk about that. Okay, Dana's talking to you, Drew. Somebody else. Hannah, what was the food they served in jail anyways? A lot of cabbage, believe it or not. They deliver whole cabbages like by the truckload. And I never thought I'd appreciate fresh cabbage as much as I did, but it saved my ass because it's just about the only fresh vegetable they have. They have some weird meat, something. I don't know. It came in these boxes of containers. It wasn't a chicken breast, and it wasn't even ground beef. It certainly wasn't a steak. I don't know what it is. They told us. I just can't remember. And crackers. The only water you got is whatever you got out of the sink. And the only sinks that you had available, there's 3 sinks, and they're built into these. There's 3. They're built into the shitters. They got the. I'm trying to. If you're looking at it, you got the tank up here. And it's all steel, and the bowls down here. So you piss and shit, and up here you wash your hands. Well, that water where you wash your hands, just 2 feet away from where all your shit and piss goes in, that's where all your drinking water comes from for everybody. So they're really, 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 really strict about keeping the shitters clean, which is, I'm so glad they're as clean as we could with what we had, because you had to clean your own shitter. You had to clean your own everything. You had to clean your own underwear. They don't do laundry. I think once a week they had to, by law, give us a new blanket, I think. But the food just sucked. They gave cartons of milk, and back then I actually drank it, and I drank a gulp down a carton of rotten milk one time, and threw it up, and I was pissed. I want to see the kitty from Karen. Karen, I bet you do, but she's hard enough to catch as is. I mean, she's not that hard to catch, but there's just one spot. She's just behind this curtain. I just have to get in there. But the only time I ever get her out is when I get her out 2 or 3 times during the day, and then at least once before I go to sleep at night, and I only hold her in my bed because I'm scared she's going to get freak out. She was found in a garage, and she always stayed in the garage. She apparently doesn't like sunlight, and she certainly doesn't like this screen flashing. I've never held her right here, eventually, I hope to get her where I can just have her up here, annoying the shit out of me. That's really what I hope happens, but I just can't. I'm a big, big, big softie. Jail food is gross. Yep. I assume maybe you've had it. I wasn't technically arrested when I was handcuffed, but brought to a mental fucking hospital. It was only due to my grandmother. I wasn't in there longer than 3 days. And try to stay away from mental hospitals and anybody that would put you there. May 15. How much time did you spend in jail? 60 days total. I was arrested in court end of March 2014, civil contempt, and I was thrown in the pokey, and I got out 4 days later on April Fool's Day of 2014 and made the front paper because that's when Judge Rex had to recuse himself. Judge Whalen had to recuse, or he decided to, or whatever. He recused himself. Well, it was over the anonymous videos. Not anonymous, what young kids know of back then. Again, Miss Mary knows what I'm talking about. There was a group of people with no central head or leader that wore the Guy Fawkes mask, and they would make videos and do kind of like vigilante justice and, make ultimatums, sometimes unfortunately even threats. And they apparently somewhat threatened the judge with this video and tagged me all over it, talking about, we saw your video, whatever, and what you did to Parker's, horror, what everyone did to Parker's horrible. And anyway, he wound up recusing himself. And that was in the paper the day I got out of jail. I appealed to the Eastland Supreme Court, or the Eastland Appellate Court. And they said, screw you, you're going to jail. So I had just enough money to my lawyer to appeal it to the Texas Supreme Court. And of all people, a woman named Eva Guzman, come to find out, was on the Supreme Court back then. She's since resigned and she ran for governor, and she didn't win the primary. But anyway, they told me, nah, since your jail sentence is less than 6 months, we don't have time to mess with you. Just shut the fuck up, peon. Just go sit your ass in jail. We don't care. All right. And they wonder why I don't give two shits about Independence Day and freedom this and rah rah America. I'm just still kind of fucking bitter about it, so they can suck me for all I care. Zeno, are you talking about the hacker group Anonymous? Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You don't hear much about them anymore. I don't see them. I don't know how active they are. I think they got overshadowed by what is known as anons when, in the Trump administration, which I didn't really, not the same thing. What? From Thomas? I'm not sure. Wow. Yeah, it sucked, dude. So anyway, once they said, screw you, go sit your ass in jail, that fall, I think it was sometime in August. Yeah, it was real hot outside. August, September, or maybe September, October. Yeah, it was the beginning of September. It's still hot. I had to go finish my remaining 56 days in jail. And all the trustees, every single one of them, all got a 2-for-1 or 3-for-1 deal, meaning for every 2 days they served in jail, they got a free day knocked off, except me. I was the only one that had to do my full 60 fucking days. And I attribute that to that coward sheriff. He's not there anymore, of Ector County, Texas. I don't know why I used to remember. I used to never would forget his name, but I just can't think of his name. And I've talked shit about him on here in some lives in the past. That is the most stupid reason I ever heard for someone getting arrested. I assume you mean mine. For Parker, yeah, for the Parker movie. Yep, yeah, that's exactly why they did it. Dorian Mabry, why did Judge Whalen and Rex be putting your kids in danger and screwing you over? I think it's because they're crooked. I think I challenged them, I guess. I challenged their authority, and they know what's best for me and my family better than I do. And I dared question their illustrious intent and their, I think they want to make an example out of me. I think I was making too much noise. The family court likes the way it is. And yes, Texas is a Republican state, has been for 40 fucking years. And they've built it exactly the way they want it. And I was putting a camera and shining a light on how awful the family court is and what really happened, since not one of any of the local news people ever covered the atrocities in family court. Never do they cover it. And I was covering it, and I was getting sympathy and making people question, like, whoa, I didn't know that happened in family court. Whoa, it's really that bad? Yeah, it's really that bad. And guess what? They're not telling you about it on purpose. And personally, I think I was a threat to the status quo. And when you become a threat to the status quo, they squash you. Have you ever gotten to a fight in jail or witnessed one? Thank the gods, no, I did not get in any fights. But yeah, I saw quite a few of them. This one dude, I don't know what he did, but he was basically baited and thrown into a certain holding area, and it was like gang related or something. I'm really not sure, but apparently he did something, probably, I would imagine, kitty diddling, and they just, which, to the credit for the guards, I kind of think that's pretty badass, because even hardcore prisoners don't put up with pedos, and they beat the living shit out of that guy. I mean, beat him stupid. They beat the brakes off that guy. Xeno, they only really show up once in a while. A good bit of them just do things solo. Rarely ever do they do something as a group, apparently. Yeah, and that's they're Xeno's talking about, I assume, Anonymous. They are a group, so to speak, who basically find injustices in their own way and try to do what they can to expose the truth, to make things right. But it's not like there's a board of directors and a leader or a head at all. They all kind of do the same. It's like hive mind, sort of, but with independent thinkers, if that makes any sense. Yes, thank you, Panna. Well done. You get a gold star for that, remembering that guy. Mark Donaldson. Mark Donaldson is the former sheriff of Ector County, Texas, that refused to give me a 2-for-1 deal and let me get out of jail early. I was in there for civil contempt of civil court, and I was the only one that had to serve out the whole time in there. That coward, that First Baptist Church Christian motherfucker, Mark the Coward Donaldson. Ryan, saw the pig you put my 10-year-old ass again when I was 13 and almost assaulted him. Yeah, don't do that, dude. I've been bitter ever since about it. Several shit, and that's why I faced depression for years. I know it sucks, dude, and it really does, but I'm never, ever, 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 ever promoting that sort of violence at all, because they will win and they'll come down on you and possibly even me. I know why you feel that way, but I firmly believe that is where some of the greatest artists and art itself comes from, is from abused people who know that they can't get the justice that they know would actually work, that is actually deserved, which is, getting jiggy with it, with people that, well, hey, that was a horrible, sorry, forgive my old ass, getting, violence. Instead of being able to do that, they find outlets and they use art. And I encourage people to do that. because if you face them on and give them what they deserve, I mean, believe me, I've thought about, I just loved, to tell, all right, Donaldson, take that badge off. All right, Judge, take your robe off. Let's handle this. And yeah, I'd love to just, fist fight them or get in the boxing ring with them, but I can't. But you know what I can do? I can exercise my freedom of speech. And that is that's why I think so much art and artists, regardless of how much they might irritate someone, if they find it untasteful, they use the Constitution, they use their freedom of speech, the freedom of expression. You can express yourself however you want to, just like I can get on here and call Mark Donaldson and Den Whalen and Judge Rex, James L. Rex. I can call them all cowards, and there's not a damn thing they can do about it legally. They could send some thugs after me. I guess that's possible, but that's another reason I quit drinking. Another reason I keep staying in shape. It's another reason I want to, get my rest and take care of my body in case they decide to cross the line and attack me. Then I get to use self-defense. Lisa Davy. Hello, Caleb. Hello, Lisa, with the little X. She's from Britain. I know she is. How are you? Zeno, the last big thing they've done that I know of was hacking some of the major news channels in Russia, telling the Russian people the truth about the Ukrainian war and how much of a tyrant Putin is. They very well may have. Russia's a totally different. That's a whole new world that I don't know a whole lot about of. Putin's a thug. He's, part KGB. Everyone knows that. But I tend to not believe what American mainstream media says about him. In fact, when the American mainstream media is all in sync, constantly telling me what a thug he is, the more I question of, they're hiding something. I don't know what it is, but they're hiding something. Marvin Kaliba, How's Parker? He is great. Lisa David, I love the alien behind you. I do too. Is he not cute? It's like $17 on Amazon. I love him. Wow, that's insane. You had to serve 60 days in jail for that reason. I never hear people having to serve a full sentence. It's basically comes down to a sorry. Oh, yeah. Well, maybe. I mean, they never asked me if I was sorry, but I always maintained my innocence. I didn't deserve that at all. So maybe that's why they didn't let me out early. I don't know. McTuke 15. How did you feel after all of this? I started a podcast and I rail against the crooked family courts, the Title 4D funded, federally funded family courts, and the judges that use it to line their pockets. And this has been going on. That was 9 years ago. The Parker movie happened. And this is how I feel about it. The Title 4D funded family courts is completely corrupted. And I encourage anyone, don't get married and have kids in the first place. If it's not your thing, you don't have to have kids in order to live a complete happy life. And if you do have kids, sometimes your marriage sucks so bad. Some people do need divorces, regardless of what any religious person says, according to their particular textbook. And if that happens, I encourage people, do not go through the family court. You don't have to go through the family court. You two with a mediator, go out and hire somebody that is completely non-biased, that doesn't know either one of you. You can settle your disputes that way. Be fair, because if you don't, the possibility is very high that you're going to wind up like me and my kids did. So that's how I feel about it. And that's why I try to convince young people to, don't do what I did, because I did a bunch of very, very stupid things, including using alcohol to get through the pain, the depression, and ultimately it got to where I had to have it to sleep. Okay, I already got that. Whoops. Major Luna. Have you got mad in one part in the video when Margaret's mom put her arm in the window and the stepdad started helping? Did I get mad about it? I mean, I didn't like being there, but I knew that once I showed up according to the decree, and I told him this, once I show up, you are no longer in my possession, and I cannot do anything I can't help one way or the I can't, or else they will hold me in contempt of court. What I said, what I can do, Parker, is I can hold up my phone. And that's exactly what I did. I exercised my constitutional right to do that and record in public exactly what was going on. And I mean, I've been mad this whole time that any of that shit had to happen in the first place. That's part of the reason I rail against the family court, because if the family courts didn't exist the way they did, I would say more than half, a lot of the shit that kids and parents have to go through, they wouldn't have to go through any of it. And sure as hell wouldn't be nearly as broke. And they're let free. I guess I missed what you're talking about there. Zeno, love my fat fingers accidentally hitting the send button. I do it all the time. You are the best from Matuk 15. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Artists are amazing people. It's from Pana. In my opinion, at this point in my life, they are. They really are. I started following this chick on Instagram today, and she's drop dead gorgeous, but she's got these blackened tattoos, like completely sleeved, and then she's got a little bit of decoration around here, and then she's got pretty much blackened to here, but there's nothing on her face, and her hair is real dark, and she's just an absolute stunning, gorgeous drop dead gorgeous. But her artistic, besides her own body, she plays all different kinds of stringed instruments, and she paints and she draws, and the painting she makes and the drawings and the music she makes, like thrash metal, anywhere from thrash metal guitar to like a piccolo or something. I just think I wished I was that kind of artist. I'm just not. Whoopsie. The justice system failed both of us, Caleb, and we both learned it before we're too late. I'm sometimes falling in and out of depression, but you won, and that motivated me to push. Well, good. Well, thank you. I guess. I mean, thanks. I hope. I hope. I hope what I've done helps people get through this crap. Whether it's your parent, my age that went through it, or the same age as any of my kids as they went through it. That's kind of my goal. It is my goal, is to help. That's where I'm good at. I've got a bad back. I can't do the manual labor that I used to do. I was a field mechanic for a Caterpillar diesel engine field service mechanic for off and on, mostly for 25 years. And I beat my body up and I abused my body, and I can't do it anymore. But this is something I can do. I can use my voice. I can use my experience. I'm not very good at very many things, but I do have experience in the family court. I do have experience in dealing with assholes, and I do have experience in raising kids in a very hostile environment, the family court, and how to survive it. And unfortunately, a lot of parents and kids, unfortunately, the suicide rates are high, and it's the saddest thing ever. And that's another thing that I try to show people is they tell me, they watch my content, they see how awful it was, and they like, I don't know how you didn't. I see why you're depressed. I see why you turned to alcohol, and I use my voice to show them. Yeah, remember all that crap I went through? I don't have to do it anymore because I made it up my mind up here. You are not once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. That's bullshit. I got through it. I'm living proof. My kids were 1, 3, 5, and 7 when I got a divorce. And they're just so tiny. I knew I had a long, long road ahead of me, but I did it. And I made it through it. And yeah, I'm still broke as a church mouse, but I've cut my lifestyle back. I don't care about money like I used to, like at all. I won't say at all, but not like I used to. If I ever make it rich, awesome. If I don't, okay. I keep a real inexpensive lifestyle. And I like showing people that you can get through it and there is happy life on the other side of it. Dory Mabry, if that was me and I asked for a divorce, I would have packed my bags and taken the kids with me to a safe place. You can, and some people do that, but if you get caught, the punishment is severe. They'll jail you. If you're your best bet is just not getting caught and don't go through the family courts in the first place. Zeno makes me wish we had vigilantes like Pac-Man and Daredevil to hand out justice when the system failed. See that right there? That there's the reason. I would imagine the people that wrote those stories all those years ago, they just had imaginations, and I'm willing to bet the people who wrote and made those films and wrote those comics all back in the day, they just had imaginations, and they probably went through some bullshit. And they thought, it'd be nice if, had this cool, powerful guy and he's had these cool costumes and they, had superpowers. That's where creativity, I think where a lot of creativity comes from. Let's be honest. Jason May is grateful that the justice system exists, or otherwise the video would be a lot more violent. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Maybe. Yeah, don't grow up, kids. Do not grow up to be a simp enforcer. Nobody thinks simp enforcers are cool except for gold digging mothers. Gold digging mothers are the only people that think simp enforcers are cool. That's it. If you're a dude, don't be the simp enforcer. If you're a chick, don't be a gold digging mother. Do you like rugby? No, I've never played it. Never been a big fan, but I'm not a big fan of football. I'm just really not a big sports fan other than boxing. I did watch the last fight, and it was about a year and a half ago, between the Gypsy King and Deontay. What's his last name? Deontay. I can't think of Gypsy King's name. Help me out here. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. And I know it was about a year and a half ago. I remember when it happened, and I just didn't get to watch the whole thing. It was on pay-per-view, but I did watch it for free on YouTube yesterday. And that's about the only real sports that I'm getting more into more like MMA, watching stuff and boxing. I just don't really like organized sports such as football, baseball, rugby, golf. I like playing golf a little bit. I'm not very good at it. But watching on TV is just, I'd rather beat my dick with a hammer. Tori, crypto is going to help us. We just have to be patient and hodl. Yep. Oh, yeah. Price of oil just came down today. Just dropped, went from 113, got below $100 a barrel. And guess what? Bitcoin, it just kind of creeped up. I'm telling you, the perfect time to get into crypto. The big dip, the big drop, the big 95 to 99% of the big drop in all the altcoins has already happened. These are rock bottom, and things are going to change. Elections are coming up. People are going to, there's the money's going to swap over. The first part of the reset or whatever's coming, it's already here. Yeah, gas is higher than hell, and that's everyone's complaint right now. But there's already articles coming out as of today I've seen where they're predicting a horrible, like a famine in the oil and gas industry, which I was a part of for at least 4 business cycles that I remember in my lifetime. And it does bust. When it busts, I mean, it's terrible in the oil fields. Great for the rest of the country because the price of gas will go way down. But am I frozen? What the hell? I don't even know if y'all can hear me. I haven't a clue. My video's frozen. My mouse is doing a circle thing. I have no idea if anybody hears me or not. This is just aggravating. Okay, Rolando, we can hear. Huh. I don't know what happened. I've seen it freeze for like 2 or 3 seconds, but that was like 15 seconds. You look like an MMA guy. I've never fought MMA, but I'm too old to do it now. I got a bad back. But I have lost 36 pounds in the last 6, 7 months. So pretty proud of that. Hey, thanks, Pano. I appreciate it. I don't know what that was. That was weird. See, Rolando Vasquez. I'm not fully updated on the situation. I got to watch some more videos. I'll be back, I guess. All right, yeah. Well, I assume you're talking about my situation. Watch the Parker movie or the Parker series. There's the Parker movie, and then Parker versus the Man. Then Caleb gets his phone back from Parker's mom, and Parker's 17th birthday. Fast forward 4 years, and all these are in playlists on my channel. Fast forward 4 years to the Blaine series, Parker's little brother, and watch what happened to him. We can hear, but you're frozen. That was weird. I don't know why I did it. We can hear you. Marvin Calabo. Okay. All right. Well, I guess when it happens again, I'll just keep on talking as normal. Archula, I guess. Thanks, man. I meant like an MMA fan. Yeah, I don't normally wear wife beaters like I've got on today. I just got lazy and want to show off my sexy ass biceps that I got going now. This is what was all underneath that big blob of fucking fat I had going around here. I look like the Michelin man, baby Michelin man. And I've changed my diet and I quit drinking and I got my protein up. Keep, as Blaine would say, kept my macros, watched my macros, and everything it's a lot better now. Hey there, homemade KFC. I remember you. 2 tickets to the gun show you got going on. I have no idea. I'm not going to a gun show. I haven't been to a gun show in years. Panna, simp enforcers like the person who assaulted Blaine belong in jail. Yep. Yes, sir. He sure does. I believe so, but nothing I can do about it. But other than what I do, just talk shit on here. Toys, coin games, loves Playhouse, Rage, Fun, and more. I do remember you because I remember your cute little kitty picture. Sorry I missed your live stream. I've been watching news about the shooting yesterday. Yeah. I know a little bit about it. Did they catch that idiot? He's like 18 or 20 or 22 years old, young kid. I'm doing well. Guadalupe Barrios. Was the life cycle change difficult? You mean like just getting old? Yeah. I think accepting getting old was probably the hardest part. It was, I mean, yeah, shit just starts hurting more, but you learn to adapt things you can and can't do anymore. But yeah, when I turned about 40, 41, I just started having this weird, this just freak out. Just like, I can't believe so much time has passed. I mean, I was the kid. I was the young one most of my adult life. And then suddenly, boom, I'm old as shit. And I've got kids, out in the workforce calling me sir. It was weird. Like even last night. Aaron, Dr. Graham came on here and he's younger than me, like, I don't know, 8 or 10 years younger than me, calling me sir. It just still to this day, it just feels weird to me. I don't know why, but it does. I mean, I taught my kids to say yes sir, no sir, and that's how they've always been. It's just a manners thing, and I get that, but he's 22. If you're talking about Parker, he's 23. Is the oil field really that strenuous? Oh my God. Yes, it is feast or famine. When it's going like gangbusters, oil's over $100 a barrel, and they're putting out rigs left, right, like get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. There are people putting out contracts. They're just accepting the highest bid. Someone throw out another one. They don't care. They just get it, get it. Hey, Caleb or whoever I'm working for or with, we need you, we need you, we need you. Go, 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 go. And you get so worn out. And you do, like I said, I did 5,000 field jobs over a course of about 25 years. But then all of a sudden, the valve turns off. Rigs get stacked. You go from working 60, 80, 100 hours a week to 10, maybe 20 hours a week if you're lucky. And then you got to figure out how to pay for all the bullshit that you went and borrowed money on. And it's real fun. Macaroni Dragon, Robert Cremo III. And he had, oh, that's the kid. That's that moron that shot people up. Robert Cremo III, I think, right? And he had videos posted 10 months prior with mass shooting vibes. Did they get him? Has he been, did they find him? They catch him? I'm 17. I'm scared to turn 40 because of prostate exam. Well, stay off the booze. Watch your diet right, starting right now. Keep your protein where it needs to be. Keep your fiber where it needs to be. Drink plenty of water every day. And don't get into hard drugs and alcohol. And exercise regularly. Get plenty of sunshine. And you don't have to worry about the prostate. I've not had a prostate thing. I probably need it. I guess I need to have it checked, but I haven't checked. I haven't been to the doctor in years. Life with Alaya. Hi, hey, how are you today? I'm doing well, Alaya. I'm just chilling. I was going to have the doc on here today, Mr. Graham, but Dr. Graham, but he is moving or traveling to Wyoming to see his mom or something. Not Parker, LOL. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about then. Rolando Velasquez. Oh, yeah, he's traveling. He was going to be on today, so I'm just shooting the shit with everybody today. And holy crap, I'm an hour and a half in. I had no idea. If y'all want to hang out, I can go a little bit longer. And it caught me so off guard when I found my first gray hair. I'm 31, but I thought I was still 15. I know what you mean about aging. Yeah, shit just gets fucking painful. It just starts hurting for no reason. I mean, to the young people, I'm telling you, take care of yourselves because life's a bitch already. There's no reason to speed the process up and make it even harder. Any hateful comments you want to read? Well, I haven't got any trolls in the comment section. I used to have to get, people like Miss Mary and, the moderators in here to really moderate. When I first started going live, I had like 200 or 300 or 400 people at a time. And the comments were just going crazy. And, I want to get to the point where I'm reaching more people, but that also means more trolls come in. But like I said before, I like hanging out here. I like getting to know these people, seeing, people like Pam and Miss Mary and Tori and Ryan now. Ryan's a little bit newer than a couple of them, but I like hanging out with y'all. It's fun. I don't know what that means. What do you suspect about Major Luna? He left his gun when he was shooting at people, and they used the serial number on the gun to find him. Yep. Doesn't sound like a very bright person to me. The people behind the SHIB sounding more and more like Elon. What do you mean? Shiba Inu? What are they doing? Are they having burn parties and burning more SHIB? If they do that, I think they'd help their coin out a lot more, but I can't wait till I have another growth spurt. My height is painful in on itself. You'll get there, dude. You'll get there. I promise. Get fishing. How's Parker? He's great. I just don't really talk about that. So yeah, Pan, I don't really have any hateful comments. I found some, I see them every day in various videos, but I I was going to talk about one thing. I never even got around to it. Um, Speaking of Dr. Graham, who was on here yesterday, we're going to have him back on tomorrow. I'll probably just save it for tomorrow, just to kind of go over some of the crap with my own lawyer, Gavin Norris, and the crap that he's done to me. I made that phone call. I can go over it a little bit. I made that phone call on March 23rd, I believe, with Robert Greene, the Texas Attorney General representative out of Amarillo, who illegally called me. And if you're wondering why I say he illegally called me, by law, they cannot contact me if on their end they are aware that I've got an attorney on retainer. And I did have an attorney. His name's Gavin Norris. I still have him. He called me anyways. Well, I gave Gavin a week or a couple weeks, I guess about I was told it was 9 days. Because Robert said he called Gavin, my own attorney. Like, this dude's admitting that he's already knows that I've got an attorney. He called me anyway, just because it's so old. And then Gavin now, with the giving me a veiled threat of me potentially, possibly, allegedly breaking the Florida law of being a two-party consent state for recording conversations. However, been doing a little research on that, and to the best I can tell, me not being a lawyer, if basically that's designed for individuals. Like, you can't spy on people. You can't, it's the equivalent of, putting a recording device in the women's bathroom or something. You just can't do that. And there's a reason you can't do it. The reason those laws exist, because it's fucking gross to do that. You just don't do that. That wasn't designed to prevent private citizens such as myself from defending ourselves by recording agents of the state who were illegally coming after me and calling me. Though I'm glad Mr. Greene called me, because what I found out on the hour on the phone with him, which, by the way, was on my own channel, if you're wondering. I believe I uploaded it, and it went live on April Fool's Day of this year. So April 1st, you can find that. He saved me so much time. He accomplished more in an hour than the whole entire law system did in 5 years that this has been pending. But anyways, come to find out, if it's me recording an agent of the state, it's not exactly a felony. It may not even be illegal at all. It just kind of depends on the lawyer. And it's really nice getting to know more lawyers that I'm talking to, people I'm trying to get on to come on here. But, I see why they don't want that, because I'm kind of a charged type person. Somebody, I say a lot of really potentially inflammatory things. Hell's bells, I get on here and fucking wife beaters and drop F-bombs and laugh about my own former alcoholism. So they admire what I do, but they don't. I kind of like having them in private. But the cool thing about it is just getting to know more lawyers that are willing to talk to me and explain, like, nah, that'd be a far stretch. And even then, it's only 3rd-degree felony, and the punishment's like maximum $5,000 fine and maximum a year in jail or something. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And I'd be a first time, even if I did get convicted, I'd be a first time offender. And the odds of it being that severe, unless the judges are paid off, then there's nothing I can do about it, is, it's not, I'm just not worried about it. But I got to wondering with my own lawyer, who tried to recuse himself and wasn't able to. So it means he's still my lawyer, and he has by law represent me, and only me, not himself, in my best interest, to give me a veiled threat. Gavin Norris, it appears to me, a veiled threat about his concern about me possibly breaking the law when he hasn't contacted me for shit in years, knowing that I'm waiting on him to update my fucking file with the AG's office. So I just kind of wanted to get that out there, is if you've got Gavin Norris as your attorney, ask yourself, would you want your own attorney covering his own ass and throwing you under the bus potentially? Threatening with a veiled threat, me with a potential, possibly alleged third-degree felony for wiretapping, recording Robert Greene with the AG's office. I don't know. It's kind of a shitty way to do business, if you ask me. 141. Do you have any pets? Yes, I just got a little kitty, about as cute as your profile picture. She's about that small too. Parker's fine people. He's rightfully ain't going to expose their private lives. The same are said for other children. Yes, I don't talk about it. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Hello, J.1987. We're talking about whatever. Yeah, just kind of shooting the shit. I'm probably going to get off here in a bit, but I have learned that YouTube, the tags they don't really use the tags the way they used to. They pick up words, spoken words, and that's part of the algorithm, which is particularly why I wanted to get Gavin Norris, attorney in Odessa, Texas, family lawyer, who has not updated my file in, it'll be about 2 more weeks. It'll be 5 years. And yes, sir, Bob, on July 21st of this year will mark the 5-year anniversary of me getting full custody of Blaine, or primary custody of Blaine, with the right to designate his residence. And it'll be 5 years that my file has not been updated. And yes, sir, Bob, I'm going to make a big old fucking stink about it here on my own podcast. And Gavin Norris's name is going to get tossed around a lot, and it's just going to help the algorithms, because that's just how things work. Mistakes are totally fine and totally understandable. But as you've heard, for those of you like Dannon that was here last night, and Ryan and Tori and a few others that were in here last night listening to the doctor, who also had to deal with Gavin Norris, attorney in Odessa, Texas, who had his own kids taken at gunpoint because of some funky paperwork, so egregious that the man has literally enrolled into law school. Aaron Graham. I don't know why I want to get Robert Greene and Aaron Graham mixed up. Robert Greene is the guy, the AG guy. Sometimes, for some reason, here lately, I've been getting their names mixed up. Anyway, Dr. Graham is putting himself through law school just so he can afford to represent himself and get his kids back. So, Tao the King, love for Minnesota. Well, hello, Tao the King. I am getting just a wee bit tired. My voice is cracking a little bit. I hadn't been drinking my water as much as I usually do, but I think I'm gonna turn it out. And I really do think that I'm pretty sure Aaron Graham's going to be on here tomorrow again. Like he got his car fixed or whatever, and I'm pretty sure he's had to see his mom in Wyoming. So, I lost my dad last year, J.1987. I'm sorry to hear that. That's got to suck. I haven't talked to my dad in almost 5 years. That kind of sucks too, but it is what it is. So anyway, I want to see y'all tomorrow at the same bat time, same bat channel, 8 o'clock right here, 8 o'clock Eastern. And we're going to let him tell some more of his story, because I know there were some people that had a bunch of questions about him, like, what about this and what about that? And naysayers are saying, well, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. I know what it's like to try to tell your entire story in 1 hour And if you've got as many factions involved like he's got, it's impossible. He can't accurately tell his story in 1 hour. And he was only given 8 minutes, 46 seconds for his lawyer to tell his side at the hearing, which is just mind boggling. He did text me later. He wished he would have gotten a bit of information in there about Judge Billingsley and what happened with that attached writ of ex parte and I forget. He says it better than I do. There's a valuable bit of information there that I'm not even going to try to give it justice, but I'm going to let him explain that. I'm probably going to open up with that tomorrow. Again, everyone here knows how much I absolutely love and admire Judge Billingsley, and I was glad to hear what he said. But I guess since he's not here at the moment, it'll be best to come from him. I want to get it straight from the horse's mouth tomorrow at 8 p.m. So J. Emily Robbins, Jacob Bensbeek, and of course, Dannon and Tori and all y'all, Pepe D's Nuts. I will see y'all tomorrow. Thank you all for tuning in. I enjoyed it. Don't hit your cheerings.